All right, welcome back to the Wholesome Financials podcast. This is episode 11, and you are the second episode into our client funding series where we've talked through the clients that we've had, how much we've gotten funded, where we gotten funded from, some of the products that we use, and a little bit background about their story and their industry. Hoping this inspires people, but then also gives them some real life examples of how great 0% interest funding is, some of the potential data points, things like that. So, how are you doing? Doing good?
Doing good.
All right. Well, let's talk about it. Today, we're talking about our great, lovely client, Carl. Carl, the commercial pilot, right? When I think commercial pilots, I always think of like American Airlines, things like that. But
Yeah, like the big boy planes.
yeah, but essentially, that's anybody that's operating a plane, right? I don't know.
I think so. I mean, I'm not really versed in the
Yeah, me either. I don't know either.
aircraft
It
industry,
sounds cool though. That's a cool flex. Say you're a commercial pilot.
or like that you know how to fly planes, period.
Yeah. No, I think
That's-
that's awesome.
That's really cool.
So Carl came to us. Do you know how he found us? Did we
Yeah, so Carl actually found us on YouTube.
watching this podcast, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
So he kind of binged some of our previous episodes.
Yep.
Where we talk about forming an LLC, structuring it correctly for business funding. So he reached out, booked a call, and we started working right away.
That's awesome. All right. So speaking of working that right away, we're going to dive into some data points, talk about him, and then we'll have some fun questions and stuff towards the end. So he came to us. I always like starting with the background context of the client. So what's his day job? Because some people need funding to grow their business. Some people need funding to start their business. Where was he at?
Yeah. So for context, he lives in Florida.
Gotcha.
And he does security for just a commercial building.
Okay.
So he has a lot of time in his hands
Yeah.
as he's, securing the place.
Yeah.
So he's able to work on his business, but primarily he's just focusing on the security job right now.
Okay. And so speaking of securing, he came to us to help him secure the bag. How much of a bag did he need? See what I did there for to move forward?
So he was honestly only looking for like 50K.
Okay.
But I think it was more so, he told me later, I think it was more so because he didn't know this was possible. Because he had tried to do it on his own. I remember he went to like his local credit union and they only gave him like 2K, and he was like, I'm not doing this right.
So what happened with that? Like, obviously we fund people and we know the data points. We do 0%. We do these business cards, business credit cards, as well as small business term loans. Like, did he talk to you about that? What mistakes did he make on his own?
I think the industry type,
Gotcha.
the actual data points of the projected income were off. I think just little nuances like that.
So no, that's good because people need to know this. So it sounds like he presented himself as a high risk industry.
Exactly.
And then there's certain, you have to fill out the application a certain way to not look like a liability because banks, their job is to manage risk. And it looks like he tripped on those two security measures.
Which if you do, then that's how you get the low limits or just straight up denials.
Gotcha.
And then also he had inquiries. He had some things that we needed to work on prior to applying. So yeah, you can get funding with high utilization or maybe a couple more inquiries than I would like, but you're not going to get the best results.
Yeah.
So that's why he came to us, because he understood he wasn't doing it right. But yeah, so we shot for 100K.
Yeah. Well, that's good. Okay. So day job security wants to get commercial. What does he need the funding for? I don't think we talked about that. Why did he need 100K or 50K for what?
Yeah, he wanted to buy a commercial plane, like a little crop duster, as some people call it.
Interesting. And this is for his business, right?
This is for his business. So, mind you, I thought planes were really, really expensive.
Are they not?
No. So he showed me literally a website where you buy used planes. And mind you, he's only buying like a little 4-seater.
Yeah.
It's like 40K.
Dang.
And like the monthly payments are extremely low, like $300, $500.
I thought it would have been way more than that.
I know. So,
but you know what? You know what it is? It's the gas
It's a maintenance for sure.
Maintenance, and then you got to park that bad boy somewhere. You just can't put it on the curb.
You can't
You put it in front of the house on the street.
That'd be cool.
That'd be crazy.
Imagine like you pull up and your crop duster's right next to it.
I mean, yeah, when I was 8, that sounded great. But as an adult, I would call the cops if my neighbor landed a plane on my street. Okay, so he needed to get a commercial plane, and this is for his business, right?
Yeah. So the business essentially is being able to provide tourists with tours around the South Florida region.
Nice.
Partner with different hotels.
Nice.
So that when people stay at these different hotels, they would book that excursion through him.
Yeah.
And then obviously he'd take him on a little tour, make some money, and leave the 9-to-5 job.
Oh man, that's cool. That's cool, man. I hope he gets up and running, because that'd be great to go. I mean, me and planes, small crop dusters don't really get along. We kind of experienced that in Peru.
That was not a good experience.
And also, where else were we on a crop duster?
No,
paragliding.
We went paragliding
in Colombia, and then we did we saw the Nazca lines. If you've never seen Nazca lines in Peru, it's amazing. But it didn't.
You get I get nauseous.
Yeah, I got nauseous
like
too.
Just complete utter.
Yeah, but it was great to see from the air. So
yeah.
All right, back to my man Carl. So his day job, security.
Yep.
He needed $100K to buy a plane. Or he only needed 50, but the 100 was for extra. So he needed cushion, right? Because the plane costs that, but you still got to do maintenance and register it. Also, he can fund his travel business or tourism business that connects with local hotels and things like that.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, so that makes sense.
He had a solid plan prior to coming. We just needed to get that funding to get it going.
Okay, so let's talk about the funding process now. Let's dive into that. So, how much? Or not how much, like what products did we go for to get him funded? Did we go credit union? Did we go banks? What cards did we use? What did we do to get that $100K funding for him?
So we looked at his credit profile, noticed that he already had a personal AmEx card.
Ooh,
I believe it was a platinum.
If you're in the family, you're in the family. That's one thing. Hey, if you have any AmEx product, well, go ahead. Tell them, why is that such a good thing if you already have an AmEx product?
Essentially, once you have a personal AmEx product, then everything else after that does not require a hard pull on your credit. So everything is a soft pull. So from the second credit card to the third to the fourth to the fifth, however many credit cards you get with AmEx, after that, it's literally no ding to your credit.
Yeah.
So I noticed that he had a platinum. So that told me that, hey, he's already has that relationship established, and B, he's not going to get a hard pull. So let's test the waters,
Good
right?
Lord.
So we applied for the 0% business card.
Okay.
We got him 13.5. Then we applied for the second one right away because there's 2 0% cards with Amex.
Mm-hmm.
Then he also got 13.5, which, what is that, 27? Altogether? 27.
27.
And then he really wanted the gold because, he travels often and he wanted to be able to...
Where he be going?
He's
in Florida, so he probably hit the Caribbean.
Exactly. So we got him the gold with a $75,000 spending limit. Now, Carl, he's not interested in 0% all the time. Like, he's okay having some interest. Mm-hmm. He understands. So we were able to apply for other cards that weren't just 0%.
Okay.
We currently have Chase pending. He wanted to put a hold on the funding. He said he got enough, more than what he had asked for, and that he'd double back to get more funding with Chase later. So
nice. Okay, so we got 13.5K with, that's the gold you said?
No, these are 0%.
Oh, sorry, these 0% cards. I apologize, because the gold is a charge card.
Yeah, you got to pay that bad boy
every
month. I mean, you don't, but then that interest is going to eat you. So
yeah.
I probably pay that.
And that goes against that whole quick funding strategy anyway. Like, we are team no interest on this side, right?
Unless
we got to get certs made or something like
client's
that.
like, I don't really care.
Sure.
Then we give them what they want.
I mean, hey, but we team 0% though. That's what teams are. But like you said, depending on the client, their business model, what they need the funds for, like, I can see that. That makes sense.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, okay. So he already had a relationship with Chase, the Amex Platinum. So what we did was we went and tried to leverage that and give him the 0% cards that Amex offers. And we're working on Chase, right?
Yeah, we're working on Chase. We're seasoning the bank account.
Yes.
Open the bank account. We added some money. Now he's still working his IT job. I'm sorry, not IT, security job. So getting some funds to add to the bank account has taken him a little bit. However, once he does, then we'll be ready to go and apply with Chase.
Nice. Okay, so how now that's the first big question we always get, right? Like how much did he get funded from, where from, what are the data points? The second question is how long did it take for us to get him funded?
Yeah, so we've been working with Carl for about 8 months now, okay?
Yeah, long time.
But
So I'm guessing.
yeah, it's taken a long time, because we had to lower the utilization on his credit cards, okay?
Yeah.
So for everyone listening or watching us, that's probably the number one thing that stops most business owners from acquiring capital like today,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Is utilization. And that's the only thing that we cannot control. It's outside of our control. Like, we can't pay your credit cards down for you.
Yes.
We can advise you on different methods on how to do it. But essentially it's up to the client to take care of that.
Yes, and on that point, we work with people, right? Like some people, if they're motivated and they have the funds, they just haven't. Like you can either just pay it off or you can get a personal loan,
Exactly.
and do it. But the sweet spot you want to be is at 30%. You don't want to use more than 30% of the available credit balance. Not overall. I'm not talking about a collection. If you have 5 cards, I'm talking about being under 30% for all 5. I'm referring to each individual card should be under 30%. So free game for you guys. Like, that's what you want to make sure you do. And that, honestly, it'll increase your credit score dramatically.
Yeah. And 30% is like bare minimum.
Yeah.
We really want to see 20 below. Like, if you can get it under 10%, now we're really, really cooking.
And the methodology behind this is banks want to give money to people they don't think that need it. If you're using more than 30% of your credit card, you look broke. They're like, why you?
You look like you need that, and you've been struggling to pay that.
And yes, they're not going to make money if they're giving it all to you. So they want to give it to people that look like they're stable and don't need it. So that's the best way I can describe why that would be attractive to a lending institution.
Yeah. So apart from the utilization, we had to remove inquiries. He had quite a lot. So we taught him how to do that.
How many do you have?
I believe like 17.
A shot from last episode is winning. That boy, but he was in Turo, so I mean he was in car, so that's different. But okay, 17 is.
So it's about 17. Taught him how to do that. So that's a great part about joining our program is we teach you how to fish, right? We're not going to do all that work for you, so that way you keep coming back.
Yep.
We're going to walk you through the process, teach you how to do it. So now you can remove inquiries whenever you want. 6-7 years down the line, you can still remove inquiries because we taught you the methodology behind it.
Yeah.
Apart from inquiries, we had to add him to our authorized user trade lines.
Yep.
Because his credit was a little thin and the age was too new. So we added him to 2 of our trade lines. And again, those are our trade lines that we add our clients to.
Yep.
So that
no additional charge.
Yeah, they don't have to outsource it from anywhere else and possibly get scammed. You've heard so many scams about people paying.
A lot of terrible stories about each.
And then they never post.
Yes.
Right? So we keep everything in-house and make sure that we take care of our people.
Yeah, one thing to pay attention to, and if you're not familiar, you're like, what's this AU trade line thing you're talking about? We're talking about authorized user trade lines using the method called credit piggybacking. I'm not going to go too deep into it, but essentially, if you become an authorized user on someone's credit card that has the credit card's old and is a high limit, and that person has great personal credit, that all the best parts about that get added to your personal credit profile, and it'll boost you up. It'll make your credit profile look like it's a little bit older, things like that. So it makes looks a little bit more attractive. So that's why people do it. But the older the card that you're trying to be added on, and the better the credit score, or the higher the limit, the more expensive that card could potentially be. So that's why we're saying, if you're not aware, that's why the value of us adding our clients to our cards, no matter what, it's not an extra fee, is huge, because that, I mean, dramatically expedites your funding process.
Exactly. So we had to work with him and all those things, but essentially we got to it. And we're able to apply once all the utilization came down, and we're still waiting, like I said, to apply to Chase.
Yes.
He wanted to put pause. He wanted to use some of his cards to make a purchase.
Nice.
So he knew that his utilization was going to go up. So we stopped the funding. He's going to pay that back down. And then once that happens, we'll go back to Chase.
See, that's super cool. And for those of you that are like, using the personal guarantor method when it comes to funding is a fantastic way to quickly secure capital. But maybe the credit repair stuff's a little overwhelming. Maybe you're trying to DIY it. We pretty soon we're going to drop a product, like a free
Awesome.
DIY credit software. So stay tuned for that. It'll be in this when it drops. It'll be in the description. We don't have it right now at the time of filming, but when we do have it, it'll be in the description. You can go ahead and sign up, and all you have to do is keep your credit report current, I think.
Yeah. So it's pretty much
But
free.
the service is free
The
by itself.
platform is free, so you don't have to pay for credit repair. Credit repair is expensive, guys.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it can become a scammy thing.
Yes.
Where you
Very
pay all this
predatory.
money, and then your credit network gets fixed. So
True.
AI's taken over. We know that.
Revolution.
So it's a free AI software, and all that you have to do is pretty much keep paying for your monthly credit report, which most of you guys already do. You guys have Experian. You guys have My Score IQ. You guys have all of that.
Scare me. Something dropped there.
Yeah, that's the plugs.
Yeah.
It happens.
Yeah. No, it just freaked me out a little bit. Hopefully they'll replay that.
Yeah. But yeah, when we have it available, we're gonna talk about it, drop it, and hit the community up.
That'll be good. So, all right, I gotta ask, Carl, did he get his plane with that funding? Did he buy it?
Yeah, Carl bought the plane.
Nice.
Carl bought the plane, and you know what's cool too, though? Carl bought the plane, and it's not on his credit because we taught him how to buy it under his LLC.
Nice.
So that commercial loan, whatever you want to call it, that he got, is not on his credit. It's not affecting his DTI, his debt to income ratio. So he bought the plane, and he started doing some rounds of tourism. He had a little hiccup.
Yeah.
And so I'm glad we got him that extra funding because it came in handy.
What do you say? What do you mean? Yeah, hiccup.
So do you guys all remember last year, 2024, when Florida got hit with like 3 hurricanes back to back?
Yeah, like Milton and some
Exactly.
other ones.
So I remember him, texting me saying like, "Hey, Susie, I have an emergency," because we were supposed to have a call.
Yeah.
But he rescheduled, and so I'm like, "What happened?" And he was like, "Well, I'm on my way to lock up my plane. Like I have to find different storage." Because, usually those planes are outside.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
It's in a lot where they're outside. But
Yeah.
he had to find somewhere where he could put it inside. But by the time he got there, he said that there was a little bit of water that had gotten into the plane. So
gosh.
nothing major though. He said that once the hurricane passed and all that, he was able to take it, fix it up, and then use the funds that we helped him get to pay for it.
Oh, okay, man. Yeah, see, and I'm glad that, because he originally asked for 50, we went for that full 100, which normally, if you're going with a normal funding company, you get charged percentage on everything that you get funded, right? Maybe it'd be 8% of the back end. And we've done that before too, depending on the situation of the client.
Exactly.
And then also you'll get funded like per round of funding, but for us, we just charge a regular flat fee for whatever you want to get funded.
Exactly.
Which, I mean, you can't really beat that. So I'm glad that we pushed him to get that extra funding, and it didn't cost him any extra, and it worked out for him. So that's fantastic.
Exactly. So loved working with Carl. I mean, we're still working with him. That's the beautiful part about working with us. It's like a revolving door.
Yep.
Once you're in for life. You're in the family. And so excited to keep helping him achieve more funding in the future.
No, that's awesome. So if you maybe you're trying to start a tourism business or get a plane or something like that, like I don't know. But if you need help, you need access to capital, man, reach out. Our information is in the description below. You can go to our website and learn more about 0% interest funding. But we also work with small business loans and term loans. Any type of alternative creative financing, we can help you out. Don't go the traditional lender if it doesn't make sense. Don't do the MCA or revenue loans if it doesn't make sense. So reach out to us. We'd love to help you and work with you. Shoot us an email. Now, let's get to some fun questions before we tag out. So, I mean, if you came for the data points, it's done. We're just hanging out at this point. All right. So you want to go first? You want me to go first?
I can go first.
Okay, go ahead. You got a question for me?
What's the one thing you hate about customers?
Chargebacks. I will say it once. I will say it again. Chargebacks are trash. If you're a business owner, you sell any type of product or have any type of service, you understand chargebacks are trash, man. Like, let's talk it out. Let's mediate it. But like going to your bank,
I'll give you your whole money back.
Because that happened to us before, right? Well, I mean, not before, a couple of times.
Just once. The other lady just didn't pay her invoice.
Oh, Lindsay. I got no problem saying her name.
Yeah.
Nancy, if you're watching this, never mind. We cool. You in collections now.
Yeah. No, it really bothers me because it was like out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Like we got him 50K, everything was smooth. He was like super friendly, and then all of a sudden we get a chargeback saying that it was fraud. Like he didn't authorize the transaction. Like it was like someone had stolen his card and used it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, clearly, like that's a lie.
And the banks are always going to side with the consumer. And so it's, to me, I just don't like chargebacks when you're lying, right? Like when you're doing shady stuff, you're stealing. Like,
I mean, we've never gotten a chargeback on like, someone disgruntled because they didn't get funded. Like
that's different. Like if you seriously were dissatisfied with the service, then that's fine. But if I did 100% of the work, pay me 100% of the money.
Yeah,
that's just not ethical.
So yeah, I feel you on that.
Yeah,
it always like gets under my skin, but it doesn't happen often. Like literally one time.
Yeah, I mean everyone else like in our community we have a good relationship with. So I mean you can't let those bad eggs ruin the whole batch.
Yeah, absolutely. Keep it moving. That's part of being a business owner.
I got a rapid fire question for you. Let's do a quick round of this or that. Amex Gold or Chase Unlimited?
I'm gonna go with the Amex Gold, and I know that's a hot take.
What?
Yeah.
Why? Amex Gold over Chase Unlimited.
Yeah. So
0 annual fees.
Yes.
Chase family.
Yes. I think I take it in luxury that we can get 0% at any time. I know how to get it. Frontward, backward, sideways. Like, it's easy.
Okay.
All right, so it's not hard. I can do that.
All right.
Gold, I'm a foodie. And you know this. The Gold card has...
The Uber credit.
No, it has a Grubhub credit of $20 every single month.
Thing.
So, every month, it renews, which means... I can get it today if I wanted to.
Oh my goodness.
So you get $20 from Grubhub. Essentially, you get a free meal every month in the house without spending any money. Plus, you get 4x on anything food or grocery stores related. So
those are great categories.
And honestly, who doesn't like that gold card?
Yeah, I think we got it right here too. Now I think about it. Yep.
Yeah. So
the food card, apparently.
The food card. I mean, it has other perks too on it. Let me not forget. It has a 50% off Walmart Plus credit, which means that...
And we do use that a lot.
We use it. We buy household products, Pampers for the babies, blah, blah. And we get delivered stuff from Walmart all the time. And we don't pay anything. We only do 50% of the $100 that it costs every year. So we're only paying $50 a year for free delivery for a year.
That makes sense. But I'm a Chase guy because of the Hyatt hotel partner. That partnership, those points, you can't beat it.
You can't beat it, but you also can't beat Grubhub.
What? How's that on the same level? We've been in Hyatt in Guatemala. We didn't do Japan. We did Airbnb.
Yeah.
Hyatt in Cairo in Egypt.
Yep.
Hyatt in Italy,
Colombia,
Hyatt in Colombia twice.
I mean, don't get me wrong, they're beautiful, but like I said, we can get Chase at any time.
Hot take: who you got? Amex Gold or Chase Unlimited? I can't even look at her anymore. Man, we appreciate you guys tuning in for this episode. We'll see you in the next one. We're going to continue our client funding journey series, and so we look forward to seeing you in the next one. Please comment: Amex Gold or Chase Unlimited? I can't stand this anymore. We're done.
All right, guys. See you soon.
Later.